Hello, everyone. Welcome to D&D Beyond D&D 101. So we are going to today create a D&D character. Um, and by doing so, we are going to make it so kind of you guys know a little bit more about Dungeons and Dragons. We're going to talk about my history with D&D, and then we're going to go and make a character, and then we're going to raid our good friend Mauve Dusk, who is doing a subathon today. If I could get a shout out for Mauve Dusk in the chat, if there are any mods, I do believe you're here, Mauve. Please shout yourself out so that people can go if they haven't follow you. But yeah, so we're gonna be doing D&D Beyond, and if people want to create along with this video tutorial thing that I'm doing, you can go to, I left the address up there. It's dndbeyond.com, and create a character with us. See, there's a little button for it right there on the website. But yeah, so we're gonna matter of fact, I'll do the shout out. That's what I'll do. I'll do the shout out. There we go. There we go. Mauve Dusk. They're going to be playing the Quarry, I do believe, for the subathon stream. So everybody, go ahead and give Mauve a follow if you haven't already. But yeah, today we will be making a D&D character. I need to make an NPC for an upcoming one shot that I'm doing. So in the Discord, so we'll be doing that. We'll be making that NPC because I am a DM, and that is literally the only time I get to make characters is making NPCs. So we're gonna be doing that. We're gonna be making a human female fighter, or maybe we might make Belle. You know what? We might actually just make Belle as a character. Make a level 1 version of my VTuber avatar as a character. Um, but yeah, so I'm gonna talk until a few more people get in. Hopefully we'll get some people in and talking and chatting and I'll because I know it's early as all heck in the morning. So, ooh, I did not mean for my drink to come up to get caught on the in the microphone. I'm drinking lemon water today because lemon water is supposed to help you cut weight, and I am trying to get down to a weight loss goal, so of 220, so I can have surgery, which will be great. Um, but yeah, so how is everybody this morning? Everybody that's in chat, how are y'all doing? Um, I did actually find some ambience today too. I was very afraid that it was going to be just me talking and be really quiet. So I went and found some copyright free ambience to put behind us, and so it won't be just me talking into the wind. Uh, but yeah, so for D&D Beyond, or for D&D in general, my history with it. I'm going to go through that first before we actually start building the character. I have been playing Dungeons and Dragons since 2nd edition, which should show how old I am. It's been a minute. I've been playing for absolutely forever. And relearning all of the systems takes time. So like recently I've gotten back into Pathfinder, which is pretty great. I really like Pathfinder. Pathfinder's very fun. And I've been getting into 5th edition a lot because it's the kind of the new hotness out now, and it's what a lot of people use and what a lot of people play with, and kind of the ideal for people when they're playing, and I kind of understand that. I can understand the having it as the ideal for people to play and people to like and watch because like I think 5e's critical success, the reason it's gotten, not pun not intended, but the reason it's gotten so dang popular is Critical Role. That and podcasts like The Adventure Zone and Dungeon Dudes and Yogscast using the 5th edition system, I think, was one of the reasons that 5e got as popular as it did. That and like the resurgence of like mainstream D&D in like viewpoints in television shows like Stranger Things and other things like that. And I think that's kind of boosted the product, and I really like that it has been because the more eyes on the product, I guess, the more we actually get to experience content for D&D. Like Stranger Things leans super heavy on the D&D context. I love it. Yeah, me too. I really like that the all of the like evil things that they fight are named after D&D character like D&D like monsters. It's really really cool and they use like D&D logic to solve kind of how to beat them a lot of the time and that makes me like super super happy. Um so it's going to be that's kind of why I wanted to make sure that we do this kind of with the context of where I'm at with D&D and how long I've known it because a lot of the time I will go through and it'll be really thorough and I'll have not really paid as much attention as I probably should have to the to playing it. Also, sorry, popping in and out while I prepare and eat before I try to get an hour's nap thing. No, that's completely understandable, Mauve. I appreciate you being here, and I'm just hoping I can get some more people in, uh, so that they can not only create a character with me, but also so we can raid you and have the community there right as you start, because I want that to be kind of a boost for you because you're awesome and deserve it. Like I said, everybody who is in chat and lurking, uh, Mauve is doing a subathon today. They are doing I think it's it's affiliate celebration. I think so. Yeah, an affiliate subathon celebration. And it's gonna be great. It's gonna be absolutely fucking great. It's a thing, yeah. It is a thing. It's gonna be it's gonna be fantastic, and I have faith in you that it's gonna be great, and I have faith that you're gonna do amazing. So just be aware that I am rooting for you, and so is the community. I know for fact they're behind you because they've said they are. Okay, have fun. Enjoy your food. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get to making the character. So we're going to go over here, and in the D&D Beyond website, there's this create a character button. We're going to click it. My computer's going to be very slow about doing it. And then in this, you have kind of the idea of like how to create a character, and it's not gonna. Is it not gonna take me to character creation? Oh no, my browser's frozen. Okay, that's what happened. D&D Beyond character builder. All right, cool. So it's going to take you to this page here, which is loading very slowly for me. My apologies. It's a process. And it's going to take us to the character builder app, which we're going to click. For us, we're going to click standard, but there's also quick build and randomize, which will build a first level character for you, or randomize a character with level any level random stats, etc. So we're gonna click standard because that's what we want to do is build a standard character. So this, it gives you the character name up here and then an image. So we're gonna load image. I'm not gonna import anything, but I am gonna load up an image, and we're gonna go with. I'm thinking. Oh, it's very early for me. None of these images are great. Be completely honest with you. We're gonna go with this one because we're just gonna make a generic human fighter. And his name is gonna be Stan Boulder Smith. That's what his name's gonna be. His name's gonna be Stan Bouldersmith, the human fighter. So this kind of gives you the options of different things. There's homebrew content, critical role content. I don't use Eberron or Magic the Gathering content most of the time. In my one shots, I don't. Generally, I do homebrew, critical role, and non-core D&D. Fuck Rick and Morty content, by the way. Dice rolling enables you to use 3D dice to roll things. Optional class features and customize your origin are two things that came out through Tasha's Cauldron of Everything. I'm not particularly a fan of them. I like the old school basis of like your origin kind of deals with like stat bonuses and stuff because I just like it. I'm not gonna justify it. I just do. So usually I do the milestone experience thing, but there is an XP option. We're gonna click milestone for this one. Hit point type I like to do manual. Um, but you can also do fixed, which it will bring up a pop-up menu. For use prerequisites, allow or restrict choices based on rule prerequisites for the following characteristics, feats, and multi-class requirements. So, like multi-classing, you have to have a certain like stat or whatever to multi-class, and then feats you have to do at a certain level. Show level scaled spells, display and highlight available spells to cast at a higher level. Yeah, so that's for spellcasters. Encumbrance type, I do use encumbrance, but you can do variant encumbrance or no encumbrance. Ignore coin weights, what I normally do, because like, why would you want to make coins weigh something? Ability score modifiers, so I do scores on the top and modifiers on the bottom, but a lot of people do modifiers top, so we'll do that one. And then the character sheet's going to be public because I'm going to publish it on the Discord. So we're going to go down. We're going to go through each race, and I know which race we're going to pick, but there is a different. There are different ones. So you have Aarakocra who are like bird people. There's the Dragonborn who are dragons and have a heritage of either freaking um metallic or chromatic, and then you have the different like chart of what they do. Like black dragons use acid, blue red dragons use lightning, brass, etc., etc. Then you have the dwarves, and you have two basic dwarven races. You have the hill dwarves, who are a like less hardy, more like fast dwarf, and then you have the mountain dwarf, your traditional Scottish dwarf, who are the like hardy mountaineers who go under the earth. Then you have your elves. Moving on from the dwarves, you have the elves, who have the high elves, the wood elves, and the eladrin. The high elves are your basic elven class. They don't age. They don't have the different like they have different traits. Wood elves are like your Legolas style elves, and then the Eladrin are they are Fey elves, so they have like natural spells and stuff. Then you have the Genasi, who are like elemental creatures, and and there are 4 different Genasi races. There's Earth Genasi, Fire Genasi, Air Genasi, and Water Genasi. These are genie, the spawn of genies. So this is the Knoll race. The Knolls are a race that I homebrewed into the game because they don't have as a player race. Knolls are infamous among races such as humans and elves for their brutality and demonic heritage. For the most part, they aren't wrong. Many Knoll packs are indeed aggressive and have demonic side to their affairs, typically worshipping the demon lord Yinogu. They also tend to be rather aggressive and are still mistrusted and avoided. To them, the pack is more important than anything else. So these are, the stat improvements and stuff for the Knoll. Um, then you have the Gnome, which is you have the Rock Gnome, which is your typical gnome that's above ground, and then you have your Deep Gnomes, which live in the Underdark. You have the Goliath, half giant barbarians, basically. The half elf, who are usually half elf, half human. I like to flavor it as whatever your parentage was. You actually get to choose. Um, I like the idea of your parentage being different from your like character here. Like your parentage is depends on like gives you different like traits. You have the half orc, same as the half elf, but with orcs. The halflings, which are my favorite race. There's the Lightfoot and Stout halflings. Little known Belle lore. Belle is a stout halfling, not a Lightfoot halfling. Belle is a more hardy halfling and was born in a fishing village. The humans, which you'd assume there's just a normal one, but you have the human and the variant human. The variant human is like your Dunedain Ranger style from like from um, Lord of the Rings. Then you have your tieflings, and then Aasimar. Aasimar are placed in the world to serve as guardians and law of good. Their patrons. This is your angelic race, and then you have tieflings who are your demonic race. They are demons, which are pretty cool. So we're gonna use a variant human build for this one. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna choose the variant human for our fighter, and this is going to be. Now we get to choose a language. He's going to know Dwarvish. Actually, no. We're gonna have this human know Elvish. Ability score increases. We get to choose 2 of them. So these are like our skills that allow us to like interact with the world. We're going to put him as Constitution and Charisma. Those are going to be his skill increases. Then we have skill choice, which is not wanting to go down for me. And it's going to give you like different skills that those things allow for. So what he's going to have is he's going to have nature is going to be his this particular variant human's uh, ability, and then we're going to choose a feat. And he's going to have grappler. That's what he's going to have. You have advantage on attack rolls against creatures you are grappling. You can use your action to try and pin the creature grappled by you. To do so, make another grapple check. If you succeed, you and the creature are both restrained until the grapple ends. All right, so now we get to pick a class. I was going to do a fighter for this, but I do believe what we're going to do instead is we're going to make a ranger. We're going to make a ranger, which is your warrior who combats threats on the edges of civilization. They are a dexterity and wisdom build. There's a 1d10 hit dice. Your hit dice determine your health points. Saves, strength, and dexterity. You get the ability Favored Enemy. Beginning at level 1, you have a significant experience studying, tracking, hunting, and even talking to certain type of enemy. Choose a type of favored enemy: aberrations, beasts, celestials, constructs, dragons, elementals, fae, fiends, giants, monstrosities, oozes, plants, or undead. Alternatively, you can select 2 races of humanoid, such as goblins or such as gnolls or orcs, and as favored enemies. You have advantage on wisdom survival checks to track your favorite enemy, as well as on intelligence checks to recall information about them. When you gain this feature, you also learn one language of your choice that is spoken by your favorite enemies. If they speak one at all, you choose one additional. Oop, where'd it go? You choose one additional favorite enemy as well as an associated language at levels 6 and 14. As you gain levels, your choices should reflect types of monsters you have encountered on your adventures. Natural Explorer. You are particularly familiar with one type the natural environment and adept at traveling and surviving on such reasons. Choose one type of favored terrain: Arctic coast, desert, forests, grasslands, mountains, swamps, or the Underdark. When you make an intelligence or wisdom saving check, or intelligence or wisdom check related to your favorite enemy or your favorite terrain, your proficiency bonus is doubled if you are using a skill that you're proficient in. While traveling from an hour or more in your favorite terrain, you gain the following benefits. Difficult terrain slows your doesn't slow your group. Your group can't become lost except by magical means. Even when you're engaged in another activity while traveling, such as foraging, navigating, or tracking, you remain alert to danger. If you are traveling alone, you can move stealthily at a normal pace. When you forage, you find twice as much food as you normally would. While tracking other creatures, you also learn their exact number, their size, how long ago they passed through, and how long ago they passed through the area. You choose an additional favorite terrain at levels 6 and 10. So these things are kind of the things you would learn as a ranger, and as the class kind of progresses, you become more and more adept at what you're doing as you level up and become like better at the skill that you are using. I really enjoy the skills and traits that you are able to use as a ranger. It's one of my favorite classes, right after paladin, because the paladin class is my absolute favorite. So fighting style at second level, you adopt a particular style for fighting. Your specialty. Choose from the following options. You can't take a fighting style option more than once, even if you choose later on. Spellcasting. By the time you reach second level, you've learned to use the magical essence of nature to cast spells, as much as a druid does. See the spell rules for the general rules of spellcasting and spell list for ranger spell lists. Spell slots are how you cast magic, and I'm not going to read all of this, but it does give spell save DC is 8 plus your proficiency bonus plus your wisdom modifier. Spell attack modifier is your proficiency bonus plus your wisdom mod. Ranger archetypes at third level, you get to choose an archetype you strive to emulate. The hunter is detailed at the end of the class description or one from one of the source books. I don't ever use the hunter. I use the horde breaker. There's a bunch of different things that you get from this class, but that's what we're gonna make. Uh, a ranger. So hit points is gonna be 10. Is gonna be 10. So you're hit 10 plus your Constitution modifier. So it's going to be 10 right here, but it's going to be plus our con mod. Proficiencies. We have light armor, medium armor, shields, simple weapons, martial weapons, no tool proficiencies, strength and dexterity. Skills, choose 3 animal handling, athletics, insight, investigation, nature, perception, stealth, and survival. So we're going to go with animal handling, stealth, and perception. Our favorite enemy is going to be humanoids. We're going to choose 3 humanoids, and we're going to choose goblinoids. We're going to choose Sahaugen, and we're going to choose giants. Well, because why not? Our favorite terrain is the forest. And then we go on to the next one, which is where we will do our ability scores. So our ability scores for the we are going to do rolled scores. So we are going to roll the dice. So we're going to do d6s. We're going to do we're going to do 2d6 plus 6, which is my favorite rolling method. So we're going to roll our first dice. And that's going to roll an 8. So 8 is plus 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 is going to go into our constitution. And now we're going to do that again. And we're going to do 2d6. And that's going to roll us a 5. Plus 6 is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. It's going to be 11. That's going to go into our intelligence. We're going to roll again. 2d6. As you can kind of see, this is kind of the rolling method. So 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's going to be 10. That's going to go into our... We're going to put that into our wisdom. And then we're going to roll again. 2d6. So that's 12, and 12 is going to go into our strength. And then we're going to roll again. 2d6 plus 6. And then that's going to be an 11, and that's going to go into our dexterity. And then we're going to roll one more time, and then we're going to have that'll be all of our stats. And then that'll be 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10. So 10 is going to go into our charisma. Not great stats for our NPC, but we got decent ones for right now. Give me 1 second, folks. I have returned, everybody. Sorry about that. So the kind of the way this works is that these ability scores here, these different ways we kind of interact with the world are how we kind of interact with our natural world, and how we kind of interact with like how we attack and things of that nature. So as you can see, because we have an enhanced ability score stuff because of the variant human feat, which is Constitution and Charisma, we get 1 point increase to Constitution and Charisma. Instead of the 14, we have a 15, and instead of this 10, we have an 11. So this is kind of our, this is going to be our NPC stats for now. Better than standard array, but not great. Little better than a town guard. So now we get to give this variant human ranger a background. So there's a bunch of different backgrounds. There's custom background, which I'm not a fan of. Then you have acolyte, criminal, spy, folk hero, haunted one, noble, sage, and soldier. I like to go for folk hero. I like the background of folk hero, and it gives you a skill proficiency. So what I like to do for this one is we're going to do medicine as his skill proficiency, and his artisan tools are going to be smith's tools. Rustic hospitality. Since you come from the ranks of common folk, you fit amongst them with ease. You can find a place to hide, rest, or recuperate among the other commoners unless you have shown yourself to be a danger to them. They will shield you from the law or anything else searching for you, though they will not risk their lives for you, which is understandable because they're just regular folks. Suggested characteristics. So these are kind of, you roll a d8 to see which one you get, which we're going to go ahead and do that, actually. We're going to roll 1d8 to see which one of these we get. We get number 5. I'm confident in my own abilities, and I do what I can to instill confidence in others. I like that a lot. That's a good personality trait. Ideals. So we're going to roll a d6 for an ideal. See what we get. 1. Respect. People deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. All right, we're already getting pretty good on the like character traits for this dude. Bonds. Okay, so that's another d6. We're gonna roll 1d6 for this. 3. A proud noble once gave me a horrible beating, and I will take my revenge on any bully I encounter. All right, so we don't like bullies, so that's good. Flaws. It's another d6. Let's see what we have as a flaw. 6. I have trouble trusting in my allies. Okay. Character details. All right, so this is the alignment system. It's kind of jank, but because our boy seems to be pretty good, so we're not gonna make him lawful good. We'll make him neutral good. Kind of neutral good folk do the best they can to help others according to their needs. Many celestials and some cloud giants and most gnomes are neutral good. Our faith is going to be that of the Stormlord Cord. Actually, no, we're gonna go custom gods because he is in my world. So we're gonna go Priscilla, goddess of storms. Lifestyle, he's probably lived a decent, he's probably modestly paid. He's a town guard. He gets paid a decent wage. Physical characteristics. So he's gonna have brown hair, chestnut brown hair. He's gonna have sun-kissed skin because he's been in the open a lot. Kind of out in the like sun a lot. So he's got a sun-kissed tan. His eyes are I'm gonna say green. We're gonna forest green. He's about 6'3". He's a big old boy. He weighs about 250. And he is, we're gonna say, 28 years old. He is they for as far as gender goes. Personal characteristics, we've got those. Kind of these are the ones we rolled for. I'm confident in my own abilities, and I do what I can to instill confidence in others. Respect. People deserve to be treated with dignity and respect. I am a proud noble once gave me a horrible beating, and I will take my revenge on any bully I encounter. And then I have trouble trusting my allies. So these are kind of the way his character is kind of started. So we're gonna go organizations, and he is going to be part of the I called it Hamsfield Town Militia. So he is part of the Hamsfield Town Militia, which is the organization that he belongs to. He is a town guard for Hamsfield, a small hamlet on the edge of Eos. His allies are Guard Captain Septimus Berilius. Septimus Berilius is the guard captain in Hamsfield, and he is the only ally that our NPC has up until the party meets him. And then the enemies he's going to have is a Gnoll pack leader. Gorkill the Traitor. I'm not great at spelling. Open suggestions. Traitor. There we go. So he's against a Gnoll pack leader, Gorkill the Traitor. His backstory is I'll kind of work that out later, and then other just kind of additional notes that you want to put in for your character. So this is kind of our good boy, our goodest of boys. So now you get to start to put in your starting equipment and starting gold. Um, welcome, Hysteria. Sorry I didn't welcome you right when you came in. I've been, I was very focused. Ooh, my avatar does not seem to be moving around a lot. Give me 1 second to fix that. Can you guys still hear me okay, though? Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to hang up here. Kind of dismiss my VTuber for a second. Dismiss my avatar, and then kind of get back into the call. Authenticating. Okay, so she should be bouncy again. Wonderful. I'm glad you guys can still hear me. I just want to say thank you all for being here, and I really appreciate it. I appreciate everybody for being here and for lurk, even my my lurkers, my viewers. I appreciate you all for being here. I'm trying to hype this up as much as I can. Yes, she is indeed bouncy again. All right, so now we get to do our starting equipment. So our starting equipment is going to is kind of what we choose as our weapons and armor stuff. So as a ranger, we get a selection of different items. So you have the leather or scale mail. We're going to go scale because he's town guard. We're going to do 2 simple melee weapons, which we're going to do a spear and a dagger. We're going to go for an explorer's pack, which includes a backpack, a bedroll, a mess kit, a tinderbox, 10 torches, 10 days of rations, a water skin, and then the pack includes 50 feet of hempen rope, a longbow with 20 arrows, and then some artisan's tools. So we already chose smith's tools, so we're gonna oh no, that's for folk hero. Okay, cool. So folk hero starts with smith's tools, a shovel, an iron pot, a set of common clothes, and a pouch containing 10 gold. So we're going to add starting equipment, and that's going to take us to our equipment list. We are also going to give our good boy a shield. So if you want to add equipment to his current stuff, you could click add items, and then you would go, let's go armor, and then you do SHIEL, and then you would add your shield. Then if I wanted to, let's say, get rid of his dagger, or let's get rid of his dagger, and so you remove the item, and then what do we want to replace it with? Well, I want to replace it with a scimitar. So you can't do that in armor, so you unclick that, and then you add just your scimitar. And so you click wield, and that will wield or wear, depending on what you're using, and that will give you the actions in your character sheet. So then you have any of these that you can equip, and kind of are able to do. So this is your encumbrance. If you don't equip that, it goes to 86 pounds. Backpack, this is you wearing your adventuring gear. And then these are all the magic items you might potentially get throughout your adventures. So now that you've got your starting equipment, you're going to add your starting gold, which is 5d4 times 10 gold. So I like to do just 5 times 10, so you add 50 starting gold. And then you can either export it to a PDF or view your character sheet. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to view our character sheet. I'm going to double check that everything's kind of working. And this is going to load up our character sheet here, and we're going to... And now we can see Stan Bouldersmith, Town Guard of Hamsfield Hamlet. He has 12 hit points. He has a +2 proficiency bonus, a walking speed of 30 feet, armor class of 16, a strength of 12, a dexterity of 11, a constitution of 15, an intelligence of 11, a wisdom of 10, and a charisma of 11. So you have these are your ability scores, and these are going to be these numbers up here are your modifiers. You add these to whatever. Like if you were to make a Constitution saving throw, so you go down here and it says +2. It because I'm not proficient in Constitution. I'm proficient in strength and dexterity, so instead of this +1, I have a +3 because you add your proficiency bonus plus your modifier, so it's a +3. Dexterity, I have +0, so it's a +2 because that's what my proficiency bonus is. Then you have your passive perception. I don't remember how these work, so what we're going to do is we're going to click this. Passive checks and skills. The ability check doesn't involve dice rolls. Such check represents the average result for the task done repeatedly, such as searching secret doors over and over again. You have blind sight, dark vision. These are things that would add to that. So then you have these are kind of your normal things plus it's 10 plus your modifier. So you have passive perception would be wisdom. So wisdom is 0. Actually, no, it's because I'm yeah. So it'd be because I have this in perception, it'd be plus your proficiency bonus, and then neither of these have proficiency, so it's 10. These are your tools and like land, your things you're proficient in. You have your languages down here. Common, Elvish, Giant, Sahaugan, because I am and if you highlight them, these are the things that I get from Variant Human. These are the things that I get from Ranger. Smith's tools are from Folk Hero, as are vehicles. These are Ranger. These are Ranger. Light armor. All of this comes from being a Ranger. And then you have these are your actions. These are the things that you can do. So you have your scimitar, which is a 1d6 plus 1. Your spear, which is a 1d6 plus 1 or 1d8 if used in two hands. It'd be a 1d6 when thrown. An unarmed strike is just 2 bludgeoning damage plus 3, and it's a plus 3 to hit. Piercing is 1d8 for the longbow. And these are kind of your actions in combat. You can attack, you can cast a spell, you can dash, disengage, dodge, grapple, hide, help, improvise, ready, search, shove, or use an object. Grappling and pinning is kind of given right here. And then you have actions in combat, 2-weapon fighting. So should I want to use my spear and my scimitar at the same time, I could because they're one-handed weapons. But I have a shield in one hand, so that wouldn't be an efficient way to fight. Stan the Boulder Man. Yeah. Stan the Boulder Man. That is correct. He is our Boulder Man. Stan will eventually get spells, so you can go over here to your inventory, and this will show you all the things you have. If you go to your back to your actions, you can go your attack actions, your regular actions, your bonus actions, reactions, and then other. He can't cast spells yet, so we don't see that here yet. Inventory is kind of what we have in our inventory currently, what we have in our backpack, and then what we have off on our regular person. Features and traits. This is kind of everything that we can do as a ranger. We have the natural explorer feat. We have the favorite enemy feat, and then our proficiencies of animal handling, stealth, and perception. Our favorite enemies are goblins, sahaugen, and giants. Our favorite terrain is forests. Languages we can speak are Elvish, and again, common, Elvish, giant, sahaugen. We have the ability score increases from Constitution and Charisma as a variant human. Skills, you gain proficiency in one skill of your choice. It's nature for us. And then we have the grappler feat. And then we have our max health points up here, a short and a long rest. A short rest, you roll your hit dice, and that'll allow you to do your basically your proficiencies, or you roll your hit dice and heal your health points. A long rest will heal you completely and restore your hit dice. Does anybody have any questions about the character creation process of Dungeons and Dragons? This is kind of I was kind of treating this as like a master class type deal. So if you have any questions, I'd be more than happy to answer them. If anybody in the chat has questions uh, for me about the character creation process. And then crickets. um Okay, so we're gonna go back over here, and what we're gonna do is we're going to give Stan the Boulder Man. This kind of so we're gonna go over kind of how to level up. So you're gonna go to Stan the Boulder Man, Stan Bouldersmith, level variant human. You're gonna go over to manage character and levels, and it's gonna bring you back to the character builder app, and then we're gonna go from level 1 to level 2. So at level 2, you get you can roll your hit dice. So it's hit dice 2 plus it's 2d10 plus that. I have it on fixed, so it immediately goes to 20, which is your average. Your hit points are one hit dice per level, uh, and then hit dice at level 1 is 10 plus your Constitution. Hit points at higher levels is 1d10 or 6 plus your Constitution modifier. Proficiencies, we're gonna have we still have your standard proficiencies, favorite enemy, and now that we're level 2, we get to choose a fighting style. So you have archery, defense, dueling, and 2-weapon fighting. We're gonna do defense. While you are wearing armor, you gain +1 bonus to your AC, and now we get spell casting. We can now choose spells from a spell list in the next part when we kind of go. Now we have our our spell calculation or our modifier calculations, description, going over to equipment, and then what's next, view character sheet. And then when you go over to the character sheet, you're going to be allowed to choose your spells. I'm good. You know that. Yeah, no, I absolutely know that you know how to create Hysteria. I know how that you know what you're doing with the with character creation in D&D. So now we get to go over here and choose spells. So we have first level spells, and then we're gonna hit manage spells. So we get to choose some spells. We get to choose from some spells that we are able to do at first level. And then we're gonna go up here, and it's known spells 0. We're gonna add some spells. We can add 2 known spells. So what do we want? So I usually go for a couple of them. There's Longstrider, which Longstrider is you touch a creature and target speed increases by 10 feet until the spell ends. When you cast the spell using a higher spell slot, you can target 1 additional creature for each slot. So this is basically like a mini haste. So I like to do that, and then I like to do Hunter's Mark. You choose a creature you can see within range and mystically mark your quarry. Until the spell ends, you deal 1d6 extra damage to the target whenever you hit with a weapon attack, and you have advantage on any wisdom, perception, or wisdom survival check you make to find it. If the target drops 0 hit points before the spell ends, you can use a bonus action on a subsequent turn to mark a new creature. So that's what we're going to learn. We're going to learn Hunter's Mark and Longstrider, and those are going to be our spells. And so we have 2 known spells now. And then we have spell slots, which you click this little button when you've used the spells, so you can't use any more. So you click both, and now it won't let you cast anymore. You hit cast, and it does one, and then you hit cast, and then it takes them away. And that allows you to kind of use your spells. And now we have, see this little D mark right here? This means we have disadvantage on that because of our scale mail armor. Yeah, no, Hysteria, you are correct. You do know a little too well how to create characters in Dungeons and Dragons. So now we're gonna kind of move over to talking about just kind of general Dungeons and Dragons facts, like monsters and things. I personally really like D&D because of the customization options that you get. Like we've just created basically an Aragorn style human fighter or human hunter that will eventually become a strong maybe NPC to guide the party, or this NPC could potentially die and give the party a reason to fight on. As a DM for me personally, I really like the idea of parties kind of attaching themselves to an NPC because of not because I like killing them off, like a lot of DMs will kind of tell you about, but I like it because NPCs can give kind of an insight to the world from a commoner's perspective. You're an adventurer. You're kind of already a badass. um, any adventurer is going to be subsequently like a monster on the battlefield. But if you are not, if you want to see the life of like how the people in the world are living, attaching your getting attached to an NPC, which a lot of people will say DMPCs are a bad thing, things like that. But allowing the DM to kind of give you an NPC that's a level lower than you. So if the party starts at level 1, the NPC starts at level 0, or et cetera, ad nauseum to however whatever level you are. If you give, if I think you can make a good balance of giving the party a character to kind of endear to and not overstep. A lot of DMs make the mistake of overstepping with their D&D with their DMPCs because of how excited they get to use those DMPCs. They're very excited to kind of get into the minutia of, oh well, I really like this character and I really like having this character to do the things that I want to do and make them look cool, but that's not why they're there. A DMPC is there to kind of guide the party. Maybe not even in combat. Maybe the DMPC when they're with the party hides when the combat starts because they're just a noble that doesn't know what they're doing in the fight, or it's a child that the DM is playing as an orphan that the party needs to like rescue and take home, or like Stan Bouldersmith. He's just a common man. He's there to help the party to kind of understand where the knoll packs are coming from and understand what's going on with those and where their stronghold is and things of that nature. Um, Kind of exploring through the world and not because D&D, a lot of people mistake D&D as a combat game, and it's not. Fourth edition very much was, and if you're coming from fourth edition, God bless you for continuing to play fourth edition. But but at the same time, it's ooh, excuse me. It's hard to get that balance sometimes of good combat and good storytelling within your world, because when you have that balance, you have the ability to kind of work within the confines of a world and of a excuse me the confines of a world and a living space that people have never seen and will probably never see again. So being able to go and be part of that world is a good thing, and being able to explore and shop and role play and learn about the world from a first-hand perspective is part of the biggest thing that at least draws me to D&D and draws me to kind of creation of so many so many characters. I had to delete characters to make Stan Bouldersmith today because I have made so many I have run out of slots. Because D&D Beyond only allows you so many characters. That's why I also use a service known as Roll20, which allows me to make as many NPCs as I'd like. So I can use them in combat. Excuse me. And it allows you to like make maps and things of that nature, which is fun for me. I like that. I like that I can make maps and make give people the opportunity to kind of be where they want to be in the game. Um, I like that D&D allows me to give someone a release from the harsh realities of the everyday. Um, you know, Having fun hunting evil or even good if you want to play an evil campaign. I don't suggest it because I'm mean to evil players, but like even in an evil campaign, like, you can have fun with it. And you can be silly evil instead of evil for evil's sake, and like, be the Doofenshmirtz of the D&D world. I want to take over the tri-state area. That kind of deal. And I think it's important to be able to have that with people and have that kind of rapport and that opening up with a group of individuals who, you know, are your friends and are the people you really enjoy being around. I've played in Adventurers League games and it was soulless. And I hated it. Like I DM'd for Adventurers League once, I think, and then I played in about 3 of them because I was sick of DMing. And it was drop in, drop out. The modules were soulless. The DM didn't really bring a lot to the table. It was just run the module the way it is in the book, and kind of don't stray from that. And like, I get that when it comes to like official like Wizards of the Coast stuff, but this is a bunch of people in a game shop wanting to have fun, and that kind of makes it not fun for me at least. I can run a game from a module. I own a few of them. I own uh the Dragons of Icespire Peak and excuse me, Dragons of Icespire Peak and the Lost Mines of Fandelver, which Lost Mines of Fandelver is a fantastic way to get into D&D. If you buy the just essentials kit, you can get the D&D Beyond code for Lost Mines of Fandelver with it. It's absolutely amazing. It's a wonderful set. The which is the starter set is Lost Mines of Fandelver, and then the Essentials kit is the follow up to that, which is the Dragons of Icespire Peak, which is a fantastic follow up to that. The starter kit is actually what the Adventure Zone podcast was originally based on before Griffin McElroy did his magic and made the Bureau of Balance, which was a fantastic story. And if you have not seen the Bureau of Balance, please go and do so. Like if you haven't seen the Balance arc of thing, you absolutely should. Welcome, Miss Huffy. We have created a character today. We created Stan Bouldersmith, the level 2 um, human ranger, who is going to be an NPC for my party for the one shot. Finally, team's meeting that I was not pre-warned probably about is over. Welcome, Zorb. Welcome back. We have created our character. It is Stan Bouldersmith, and now we're just kind of chatting and shooting the shit about D&D and kind of its history and some recommendations of podcasts that I suggest going and watching. And we're just kind of relaxing. This is just kind of a relaxing chill stream to hype up Mob's subathon, and I'm super excited for all of you to be able to be there and watch that. That's gonna be super fun. And I think all of us are going to have a good time there. Um, I appreciate everybody for being here and for being for being with the kind of sticking with me with this stream. This is kind of one of my favorite activities is just to make characters. You can ask Miss Huffy. We've made hundreds. I've got notebooks full of characters. We've made so much stuff. And D&D Beyond is a really great tool for that. It wasn't an Adonathon, but yeah, I absolutely hyped. It's both. It's a subathon and a donathon. You can donate to their link in the chat, or you can or you can sub to them, which would be really cool if you did that. But yeah, no, it is a donathon, and I am super hyped as well. And I'm really glad that you guys could make it and come and watch both my stream and their stream. I know it's a lot to ask to watch two relatively decently long streams, because this one's going to be until 12 noon, which is in an hour and a half. So this stream is going to go about 3 hours. I was thinking to ask about if my character I submitted that me and Oko made was looking decent. Yes, actually it was. I really liked your character, Zorb. Your character is in, you did get a slot for the one shot. I did want to ask, are you okay with it being streamed? I was going to ask everybody later, but I'm going to ask you here now. And Oko, because I know you're listening, I can see your name in my lurkers list. Are you guys okay with me streaming the one shot? Because I'm going to be streaming it here on my Twitch channel for all of you guys, for everybody to kind of see, um, kind of an introduction to my world. Welcome, Scarecrow. Yeah, I saw you guys. I saw you guys in my lurkers list. I will call out. But but yeah, if you, I wanted to know if you guys were okay with me streaming the one shot on Wednesday, because for sure I'm going to check if Oko heard. Fantastic. But yeah, I'm super excited for it. I'm making some like background assets. I might just use the map for the world as the background asset. Um, or I might use the town map. I do not exist. I see you. I perceive you. You do exist. I see you. All I see you very, very much. But yeah, so that'll be 7 o'clock EST for that particular stream will be 7 o'clock EST on Wednesday. Um, Either that or I might bump it up to like 4 p.m. EST. This is why I see my stealth as a dump stat. Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I have a high perception stat, so that's okay. That's okay, Crow. It's wonderful. I am really excited for not only Mav's stream, but my um stream for the podcast, and it's going to be absolutely bananas. It's going to be fucking wonderful, and I'm super excited for it. If my players for the one shot are in the chat, do you have any questions for me about the one shot, about the setting? Because I'd love to talk about my world. I would 100% love to talk about my world. As a matter of fact, let me see if I can get the Imgur link and put it in the chat real quick. For my world, or not put it in the chat, but like pull it up on my thing. Pull it up on the back here. Do I have the lurker plugin? I do have a lurker plugin, so I can choose not to connect to chat if I don't want to, but I'm unsure if it still works. Oh my goodness, Zorb. I like it when I see your name. I won't like call you out most of the time, but like I saw Oko and I just like messing with them. I like messing with Oko because it's fun. Because they're a good sport about it. But yeah, I'm gonna see if I can pull my map up, and get the Imgur link and pull that up on the screen here for us. If my Discord will load, because that's where it is. Copy link. Oop. Well, that didn't work out too well. So we're gonna get rid of Stan Bouldersmith. For now, we're gonna because his sheet is finished. Don't judge me for using Microsoft Edge. It is the only browser I have that doesn't have a bunch of personal information on it. So that is what we're using today. And then we're gonna go. My stuff's going very slowly. We're gonna paste and go to the Imgur link to my map, which is what we're gonna pull up after. Hopefully it'll go ahead and go to the link and take us to the map. I know the button glitches, so here's the link. Lol. Yikes! News reports are Yuccarino. Yeah. Um. Oh, hey, somebody. Oko out here threatening you with money. Oh goodness, dangerous game there, Belle. I know you're throwing a count. Oh no! Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't. You don't have to do that. Okay, so we're gonna pull up the map here, and this is kind of the map of the we're gonna see if I can full size it. See if I can full size the map. No, go away, sidebar. I want to see if I can full size the map for like the whole thing. What is that? What does that do? Options. I want to like make this the whole screen. No, I don't want. I do not want to reverse image search my own fucking map. That is not what I'm doing. Okay, so um this is our map. We're gonna heart this image because I like it. And then we're gonna look at kind of the places on my map. Right click, open image in new tab. Oh, okay. Thank you, Scarecrow, because I'm dumb. Belle's Throne has so many robots. Will we encounter a god in the one shot? I can shield bash them. You might. It just depends on if whether or not you intend to try and fight the gods, because the gods are not fun people to fight. So yeah, this is my world. We're gonna kind of go through and look at it and start with. We're gonna start way over here in the mountains, and this is the mountain territory of Hammerholm. We're gonna zoom in on it. And this is the mountainous terrain between Talos and Hammerholm. I may be a himbo. Shieldbash Trog. I may be a himbo, but I can make a good intelligence roll every now and then. Yes, Scarecrow, you can. In the last Pathfinder campaign I played, I could still read and understand the rules. The second god I married. Oh goodness. Hold control to scroll in and out, Belle. Thank you. That makes a lot more sense. Wonderful. Thank you so much. That makes this so much easier. Okay. So this is the main continent of Uis, which is the world here. This main continent contains some kingdoms around it. There's Hammerholm, Talos, Eos, Valetown, and Halflington, Montelibe, and the Minotaur kingdoms. Each of these are a different factions kind of area. Hammerholm being the ancestral home of the dwarves, is the last bastion of kind of dwarven civilization. Over many, many years, different Underdark dwelling monsters have taken the other Tigers of Hammerholm from the dwarves and given them and kind of taken up residence in the mountains. And the dwarves are doing their best to fight back the hordes of evil by creating an undead army known as the Phoenix Legion. A player character actually helped create the Phoenix Legion after becoming the Queen of Hammerholm. Also, that same player character destabilized the economy of that city for generations. You know who you are. Thank you for that. Um, Next up, we have Talos. Talos being the ancestral home of the elves, deep in the forest of death, otherwise known as the Silverwood. The city of sounds like a coffee thing to do. Yeah, no, Scarecrow, don't call her out or nothing. But yes, that was her. uh, what an inconsiderate player must have been. Hella cringe. Oh my goodness. Okay, so Talos is the ancestral home of the elves. After the migration from the Dragonlands, which is another part of UEs that I need to get mapped out, which is far to the south, the former ancestral home of the Dragonlands, having migrated to the north, they took the area of the Silverwood Forest after because it resembled their jungle home. Talos has a massive tree in the center of it, which is known as the Life Tree. It contains the souls of every elven king since the inception of the city. The first king, King Rembrandt the First, was a benevolent ruler who, during the Gods' War, a calamitous event that created the rift in the and divide in the lands, was and the kind of destruction of most water sources in UEs. Um, the people of Talos enjoy a life of solitude, kind of away from everybody, because they are kind of blocked in on all sides by giant man-eating spiders in the Forest of Death. Um, the inside the Forest of Death, however, are smaller fiefdoms of elven and human settlements from people who brave the forest in order to keep themselves from having to be under the ruling thumb of either of the main elven or human kingdoms. Some halflings will wander out here and live in these areas as well, because halflings in my world are adventurous folk. They're calm and peaceful, and they like to spread the love around. Instead of seeing adventuring as a thing that is to be disapproved of, adventuring is one of the biggest halfling pastimes, as they like to go and spread good food and cheer throughout the world. The next kingdom on our list is Eos, the kingdom of the human and tiefling races. Recently, the tieflings and Oni have kind of overtaken the kingdom due to the Empress Immortum, named Clementine. She married the Emperor Immortum, Marcus the First, and made him an immortal familiar, and she is immortal as her demonic heritage does not allow her to die. Most tieflings, unless killed, are immortal, if functionally, in my world. As well as Azamar, both are immortal. The Azamar live in the Cloud City, however. Cloud City is not on this map. I'd have to get another one, Lenore. It was not devious. It was actually a marriage of love, and they kind of took the kingdom because Marcus Virilius II, the son of Marcus Virilius, the first emperor of the human kingdom, was an evil bastard who they murdered because he deserved to die. Um, and now they kind of rule as a peaceful, benevolent couple who have given the tieflings, who were at one point outcasts in society due to their kind of role in the Gods' War, and seen as a blighted curse on the land, now given a chance to thrive and be loved by the population, as the Empress Immortum has created more farming land and more just in general peace amongst the once warring human kingdoms. Um, Eos is a single city with many small kingdoms within it, within its rule, between that and the Dragon's Teeth coast that it sits upon. Moving south from Eos, we get to Valetown, the largest community of the Halfling race, and one of the largest churches to the goddess of war, Tethala. Tethala being the goddess of the moon, war, passion, and fertility. She is a monk, and she helped the Halfling race to kind of rise to prominence in the early years, as they were kind of a way for her to repay the world for the kindnesses done to her during the Gods' War. Humans and elves alike both kind of created this barrier to entry as far as like her religion, because they saw it as uncouth to worship a basically sex goddess, but and a war goddess and war goddess as well. And the halflings were like, no, she's a goddess of passion. Whatever you're passionate about, it doesn't have to be passion for a partner or passion for the carnal desires. What about a passion for art or a passion for farming, and that's kind of how they saw Tethala. I might work on an updated map for you for this today at some point. That would be absolutely lovely, Miss Huffy. I would love that, and I would, be very, very appreciative for that. I kind of plan on using the map image as a background for the podcast, or the one shot rather. So I would very much appreciate an updated version of the map, including the dragon lands and kind of the everything else. Welcome, Ivorus. Thank you for the lurk, and I appreciate you being here. A passion for making and serving delicious meal. Yeah, exactly. Um, Tethala would be so down for that. If a chef, if all their passions was making delicious food for everyone, the goddess would bless that and come down and try the meal more than likely, in the form of a disguised beggar asking for him to share, but just a morsel of that meal. And should he share, she or they, share that meal, the goddess would give him many blessings upon his house, his restaurant, wherever he's serving this meal from, or they're serving this meal from. Pardon. The goddess would kind of do that, and then you have the goddess of storms, Priscilla, her wife, the goddess of bards and barbarians. She would this goddess creates thunderstorms of cacophonous music, with lightning strikes like the hammering of drums. Um, then you have, the god of the sun, Gatlock. And kind of this world itself is one of the things that I've poured so much passion myself into. And I really love, like, just kind of going on about it. And I appreciate you guys for letting me. Next up is the home city of the creation goddess, Cassiopeia. The city of Montelibe. Montelibe was at one point a just mountain range that contained the remnants of the kobold race, that was created as a kingdom by a pair of adventurers who escaped what is known as the Endless Dungeon, an island dungeon that at the top is 200 floors. That you are set at the top of a mountain with no equipment, no armor, no weapons, no anything, and then you are if you survive and escape through the bottom chamber, you are given a boat and 5,000 gold to make your fortune. Um, the world below and world above are are kind of your oyster after that point. Because the ship could be a regular boat or it could be an airship, depending on your preference. Montalibe was founded by two of such adventurers. Penelope Pernuzzle, the high priestess of Cassiopeia, now resides within Montalibe with her wife, the goddess Cassiopeia. Um, the other went on to be a pirate, basically, and founded Montalibe's navy. Well, I'm actually going to zoom out and zoom in on Montalibe. There we go. Montalibe. There we are. And then down here you can actually see there's a sea monster that is there. And then to the east of Montalibe is the kingdom of the Minotaurs. The Minotaurs in my world are a peaceful race. They are a wondrous race of people who kind of enjoy their desert existence and their life in the oasis, and kind of enjoy the more rustic lifestyle. They like to create and tinker and make a living, kind of working with their hands. They have one of the largest ground military fighting forces, and as minotaurs, they are 8 to 12 foot monstrous beasts with horns that you probably wouldn't want to fuck with because they have giant heavy armor and will stomp you to death. Also within the Minotaur Kingdom is the race of the Centaurs. They chose to live with the Minotaurs as the Minotaurs are great protectors. The Centaurs actually live in this corner area of the Minotaur Kingdom that is forested instead of down here in the Oasis. This up here is the Minotaur, is the Centaur area, and this down here is the Minotaur area. Going down from here, we have the Island of Large Bugs, which is named that because this map was made by elves, and the elves at the time didn't really want to fuck with that island because when they got there were giant bees, and the giant bees were not very happy. with what kind of was transpiring uh, with people kind of coming onto their island. Bees! Yeah, exactly. Fear the giant bees, for they will fuck you up. Giant bees, giant spiders, centipedes, that whole deal, all live on that island. But also two races of people: the Genasi, the elemental genie folk of the world, and then the yeah, giant spiders, giant fucking spiders. But yeah, the elemental genie folk of the Genasi, and then the smoky ones. The smoky ones being a um type of enemy, or a type of person that is made of molten rock. They were a construct race created by a Genasi scientist who wanted to make the perfect living being out of rock and construct. So instead of making a golem, he made a whole race of people. The smoky ones do not require food, sleep, or rest unless they need to restore magic ability. They can swim in lava, they have fire resistance, and they are often seen to have red or blue crags within their skin. They are a homebrew race that I will be trying to put up on D&D Beyond. I do have to kind of get with my other creator of that race and make them available, kind of for public consumption, essentially. And you guys will have anybody who's in the one shot will have access to be using them, as well as my other custom race, the Hera, who live in the Feywild, who are giant bunny people. So there's that. And then moving from the island of big bugs over to here, this desert, and you have the Orc Badlands. The Orc Badlands are the ancestral home of the orcs. And this actually spans, if I scroll out a little bit, spans a massive area because the orcs at one point went on a war march and took over most of the known world. The orcs are one of the largest fighting forces in the world, only second to the Minotaurs. They marched from their ancestral home in the Orc Badlands, known as the Forge City, all the way down to Vale Town, burning and destroying as they went due to what they saw as a disrespect by the human king. They got to the province of the Halflings, who to that point had not gotten into what had become a worldwide war. They refused. They didn't want any part of the war, and they didn't want to be overtaken. So when the orcs got there, and the orc war chief kind of looked upon the mayor of the elves, who was the mayor of the halflings, who was the appointed like leader of all halfling kind, Robert Woodshart, father of Belle Woodshart, just heads up. He challenged the leader of the orcs to single combat, and should he win that single combat, the orcs would leave their lands and return to the orc city, and stop this insane march against the world. Should he fail, the orcs could have Valetown. No one would put up a fight, there would be no struggle, but the orcs could have Valetown and all of the halfling territory. As you can see on the map, Valetown still stands as a halfling territory. During the fight, the orc asked what form of combat the halfling mayor wished to have. The halfling mayor said hand to hand, no weapons, no armor. Now the mayor had been training as a monk for most of his life. Hand to hand combat was his bread and butter. The orc, however, had been an axe fighter, a barbarian, ready to face anything. So when he attempted to swing his mighty arm over the halfling and try to punch him, the halfling dodged, quickly got behind him, grasped him by the waist, suplexed him back, and broke his neck. I really hope the microphone picked up that cracking noise, because I worked really hard on that. The after the orc war chief was defeated, the orcs, the whole orcish army, which could probably take Vale Town at that point, looked flabbergasted that their leader had just been murdered in one fell swoop, one move, took their leader from the highest of heights to the lowest of lows as a halfling, a mere 3'4" halfling, snapped their leader's neck in a single move. It was the end of the Orcish War March. They marched back home, restoring anything they could as they left, planting seeds in the Silverwood forest that they had burned to the ground, and leaving it for the spiders. Now, no one really messes with the halflings. They saved the world from an orc war march that could have overtaken literally everything. This was just after the calamity of the Gods' War, a war that left all of the major cities, all of the major, homes destroyed. And during this time, this time of war, there was one city that was just becoming a thing. Moon's Reach. Now, Moon's Reach is a city dedicated to the goddess Tethala, founded by Belle Woodsheart, at the time cleric to Tethala, who had, she wasn't a cleric yet, she was an acolyte. An acolyte to Tethala who had journeyed far into the desert to find a place that could see the moon at all times. She found a hill, a massive mountainous hill that, if you looked up straight up, even in the daylight, you could see the moons of Uis. There are two of them. And so Belle began building her city. This just so happens to be, I didn't mean for this to be a Belle lore stream, but y'all about to get some Belle lore, y'all. So Belle began building her city as a way to honor a former ally who she had lost in combat when she was much younger. When she was just starting out as an adventurer, she fought alongside a paladin to Tethala named Borston Largebreak. He was a tall orcish man who carried a mace of disruption. He took his squire, a level 0 Belle, who only carried a dagger and a shield and was ready to do anything he asked, into the cave of a dragon. This green dragon was too much for Borston and Belle to handle, or so they thought. The dragon killed Borston. Poison and bites and slashes and claws, taking her master from the young halfling, sending the halfling into a rage she'd never been in. Grabbing his mace that he had dropped before the beast bit him in half, Belle beat the dragon until it was dead, decapitating it with her mace. She created the dragon scale armor in which she wears out of the hide of that dragon. At the time, she had just smithed a set of oxidized copper armor, creating a green tint to it, very similar to the green dragon scale she wears today. That armor hangs up in her halfling hole in a remote area, a remote town, that is a town made to recruit people for the Church of Tethala. She does very often visit the city of Moon's Reach, which she founded, and its temple, where she once fought the vampire queen Katsa, a vampire dedicated to destroying and killing the gods in their entirety. The city of Moon's Reach is known as a holy site for those who worship Tethala and Gatlok, as it is the closest point on the map to the sun and the moon. This holy city is governed by what is known as the Silver Order, an order of dragonborn clad in silver armor, created by the Church of Gatlock to protect and preserve the city. For in any calamity, this is a safe haven for anyone who seeks the sun's light or the moon's gaze. Um, this is probably my favorite city in the entirety of my world, which I should actually introduce the world in its entirety. So we're going to zoom back out to kind of get a full view of Uiz in its entirety. Uiz, the world of water. It was originally called Uiz because the main plot of the first campaign I ever ran in it was a war over the one freshwater source on the main continent. Um, the that source being this river here. And it's kind of funny now that I've run so many campaigns within this world that it became more than what I initially intended it to be. It's been a living world for so long that players have shaped the structures and the lives of different characters, like the three kings. There were originally three great kings of the cities of Talos, Eos, and Hammerholm. Those kings were King Daniel Cologne, King Barius Rembrandt, I think his name was. No, it was Bartholomew Rembrandt, and King Marcus Verilius. These three great kings were known as the benevolent rulers of the cities of Talos, Hammerholm, and Eos, and they kept peace in the world. King Daniel, making it a point to appease the last living red dragon, by allowing him to live in the active volcano beneath Hammerholm. And should anyone anger the dragon, they were sent to its lair to do battle with it and never return. The people of Talos are the keepers of the Silverwood Forest. They ride the spiders into battle if necessary. And not only is it wood elves, Eladrin, and the elves of the half elves and high elves, they also welcome the Drow, a people of the Underdark, misunderstood by the world, initially thought to be evil due to their creation by the mother of monsters, Shalara. The Drow are a beautiful people who live below the ground and only surface when necessary. There is a second city underneath the city of Talos specifically for the Drow, um, due to their light sensitivity and the fact that their eyes burn in the sun. Um, Over the years, Belle has kind of explored the entirety of this world and mapped it out in such a way that people need to know these things. Originally, people didn't understand what was below the land of giants, this uncharted land known as the land of dragons, a land that was marred by people as a place of death, and people who go there never return, because this is the area where the dragons migrated when the gnomes of the world started killing them off. Belle journeying deep and far into the jungles, discovering the last living black dragon. Down here is actually a joke island. I want to highlight. This island was named by my younger sibling. It was a meme and a joke, but I turned it into something different. This is the back of a dragon turtle, known as Tortolia, the god of balance. A massive floating island that can move around freely if it wishes to, but it stays relatively in the same place. Uh, and that is Penn Island. Uh, that name will likely be changed in the future. Moving on from kind of the meme, we moved to New Leviathan. New Leviathan was once the city of a great struggle with the Titan Leviathan, a massive serpentine monster that was made of from the heart of a corrupted god. The Drow remind me of Driders, which reminds me of the Nova Twins song Athena. Nice. You should send that to me, Zorb. That I would love to hear that song. But yeah, this was the city of the serpent Leviathan, a massive creature that once dwelled within the waters beneath the city. As the new Leviathan is a water source that spreads its underground wells with all of the major cities within the desert. Um, Moon's Reach relies on water purification from the ocean and the fresh water given by New Leviathan to keep its citizens healthy and happy. This particular area is a restoration from an old ruined city that had been lost to time and buried within the sands, and it was brought back by a player character. Uh, many things that kind of came back in the deserts were brought back by player characters. Moving on over to the Goblin Plains now. The Goblin City is a mystery to many. We're actually gonna move. We're gonna move this over just a smidge. Oh, there we go. There we are, and just move that up and move that over. There we go. And now you can kind of see the Goblin City. The Goblin City is hidden by a protective barrier that magically hides the city in what appears to be trash. Gee, is that the Belle? Thank you, Bebu. Hello, how are you doing today? We are doing a Belle lore slash world lore stream for my world as a hype stream for Mauve Dusk's Donathon. I'm really excited to bring you guys over at when it becomes time, but right now I am currently going through the lore of my world and kind of preparing people for my one shot on Wednesday, which still has one slot open. I currently have 5 characters. I opened it to 6. I have one tentative player, but they may not be able to make it due to other commitments. So if anyone would like to play in the one shot that has not already, if I can get a mod to shout out the Discord, the application process is through there. You just have to send a D&D Beyond character to the Discord, and then if I approve you, join the link. Which so far everyone who has applied is approved to join the campaign link. Because I've approved there. You guys are allowed. Actually, I don't know if any of my mods are paying attention, so I'll do the Discord. There we go. There's the Discord link. Please welcome and come into the guild hall. I would be very appreciative if y'all did that. I know that some of you are, but it is in the guild hall where the application process starts. If anybody wants to play some 5e in my world, so these are the Goblin Plains, a massive grassland ruled by the Goblin nation of Eladrin, not Eladrin, Elidin. I can't even say my own name, the name of my own thing that I created. It's a tongue twister. But Elidin is the home of the goblins. It is a magically cloaked city. Kind of makes it look like it's trashed, and a mass prestidigitation spell to make it very stinky, so people don't want to come there. It smells very poor. But once you get past the magical barrier, you see a massive, technologically advanced city with steam trains and flying ships and magical enhancements such as golems and even some small wooden and brass mech suits. Excuse me. And the city itself is a beautiful city of brass and marble and cobblestone that was built by the goblins to kind of give themselves a very wonderful area to live in. But they wanted to keep everybody else out due to their forced subservience to the orcs during the orcs' war march. So they never want to do that again. They don't want to be part of a war march again. They want to be independent of their own people, which is understandable and commendable. So next up on our little journey through my world is the land of the giants, a massive, sprawling farming community where the where you can see many of the giant races such as the Goliath, the Furbolgs, half giants, and many others. The kingdom of the small, however, is the one gnome kingdom left in existence. The rulers of that kingdom were at one point punished by the gods for killing what are the most majestic creatures in all of the world, the dragons. They were made to serve the giants as it was little man syndrome, essentially Napoleon syndrome, that made them to kind of attack the dragons as it like in their sleep. It wasn't even a mighty battle. It was just they went in and they slaughtered them while they slept. So they were made to become subservient to the giants. Not slaves, mind you, but subservient nonetheless. Below that is another area. This uncharted land down here is known as the Land of Dragons. The Land of Dragons being a massive and mighty area full of dragons, dragonborn, and other dragon kin, as well as a burgeoning pirate population. Pirates of all types, both land and sea, come here to trade pilfered and purloined goods to kind of launder their money so they're not in trouble with the law when they go back to like civilized areas. The pirate colonies down here trade mostly in rum and contraband that you can't get in the north, such as magic mushrooms and things of that nature. You can get lots and lots of different things down here, and there are temples in this area, long temples lost to time, to gods long forgotten, such as the earth goddess Utopia, and even the dead god Malukar, the former god of undeath, have temples down in this area, which means maybe one day we may see a return of the god of undeath. The god of Malukar himself started the Gods' War, starting by corrupting the gods of the era to kind of create a vision of they needed to be is what they needed to kind of take over the world, essentially take over the cosmos, because the planar system that I run has an astral sea that is basically just space. I'm going to the only place where capitalism hasn't touched. Space. Uh, yeah. So there's that, and the worlds are the world itself is kind of my brainchild and my passion project. I've been working on this world since I'm back with eggs and a beer mug full of Sprite. Welcome back, Miss Huffy. I've been talking about the world and kind of where it's at, and now we're moving on to the Gods' War, which was the calamity that caused the gods to kind of band together and create more gods, to battle against Malakar, who was at the time the strongest of them, until the sun god and moon goddess um, were the sun god moon goddess were created to defeat the god Malakar, because the blades the blades and the little face is very heartwarming. Oh goodness. The blades made for those gods were made specifically to take down the god of undeath. The uh the um the blade of the obsidian blade of the sun god, and the silver glaive of the moon goddess were used at the same time to seal him in an ancient chamber that sealed him within his own skull and sealed his powers within an orb that sits in the god of the Feywild's tower. Many have tried to take it, but none can fight against Tevelian, for not only is he the god of the Fae, he's also the god of time, and you cannot fight against time itself unless you're Thor, because that man is insane. Does anybody have any questions about the world itself, or kind of its lore? Because I'd love to share. Like, I really do love talking about this world. It's one of my favorite things, like, of all time to talk about. So if anybody has any questions, I would love to hear them. You can try and fight Tevelian, but you'll lose. You've tried it before and lost. Yeah, do any of the players in the one shot that may be here have any questions about the world or its lore? I'll replace his shampoo with hair dye. He will be very angry. He likes his beautiful blonde locks. I mean, he would rock green hair. I could see him rocking green hair. Where do the kobolds live? That's a good question. So, as I had said, right before you got here, they live in this city known as Montalibe, the home city of the creator goddess Cassiopeia. They live with amongst the people in this city, kind of as the unofficial, like, rulers of the city, because there is a council of kobolds that decides commerce, that decides what businesses succeed and fail, and they decide kind of the major things in the city, while also amen, brother. Bebuchan. Yeah, they swaggy. Yeah, absolutely. They have a lovely home in Montalibe, the city of water. Um, Montalibe sits on the ford of a river, and that goes out into the ocean. And they have one of the greatest naval forces that is almost entirely comprised of kobolds. Lizard folk. All right, cool. That's another good one. Yeah, there's a kobold navy. So the lizard folks live way down here in the land of dragons. Most dragonkin and lizard folk and like lizardkin live in this area because of the at one point attack by You should have said I could have been a kobold privateer this whole time. You could have been. You could have been a kobold privateer this whole time. Lizard folk live in the uncharted lands known as the Land of Dragons, a massive sprawling jungle, um, full of the kin of dragons, dragonborn drakes, um, wyverns, dragons, all that live in the Dragonlands. They are pirates, they are privateers, they're foot soldiers. Uh, Lizard folk are some of the hardiest in all of UEs. The Lizard folk army, along with the Silver Legion, come to think of it, isn't there a cold spot somewhere on this part of the map now? There is. There is a massive area right in here. I don't know if you guys can see my cursor, but there is this little archipelago here has a tower that is massively cold. Cool, cool. So right here in this area, right here specifically, there is a tower that has that generates a field of like ice everywhere. A white dragon currently resides there, but a former goddess known as Orchid, who was evil incarnate, lived there and was killed by the goddess of chaos, Imp, because Imp's been through space and time. So she was able to kill another god. The demigoddess Sovereign actually lives in this general area. She is the demigoddess of uh, excuse the fact that I left for a second. Are we talking lore? We are talking lore. We're talking lore of my world, as a matter of fact. And there was Belle lore that I believe you missed. But yeah, I gave some lore on me and wait, there's been background music in the stream the whole time. Yeah, there's been background music in the stream the entire time. I just put in my AirPods to listen from afar and got confused by the pretty music. Damn, I missed Belle lore. You'll just have to get the VOD, Hysteria. You just have to watch the VOD when it goes up on YouTube, because I will be putting this video on YouTube because I did do a like character creation in the very beginning for D&D 5e. So we're talking Belle lore, we're talking D&D, we're talking we made a character, we're talking world lore for my one shot. It's going to be absolutely wonderful. But yeah, the lizard folk live down here. Does anybody have any other, questions about anything? Really, I'm really open to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about when it comes to this world. It's one of my favorite things to do, is just kind of ramble on about my own creation, because I'm a giant dork for my own stuff. Let's see. Why is my thing bouncing even though I'm not making noise? Okay, there we go. It fixed itself. Good, good, good. Let's see. What else? Oop, there we go. Now there's a northern portion not yet mapped. What's there? And what do you want it to look like? Asking for totally not building. So the northern portion would be boop, 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 way up here in the spine of the world. That goes into this area, and it is a large, almost dragon-like continent. Your stuff needs more people being dorks for it. Thank you, Scarecrow. So the northern portion of the world is known as the Behir's Bane. It is a massive dragon-shaped ice continent with little islands kind of sparsed between it and the main continents of UEs. Compared to, say, the main continent. So it'd be about the same size as the desert here. It'd be about the same size as this desert continent right here. This general area, it's about that large. It's a massive continent of ice. And it spans from left to right across the entirety of the top of UEs, because it is the northern pole of UEs. And it is a massive area of where okay, but the continent goes off the map. It's not really a size. So okay, so you see from Moon's Reach all the way down to the beginning of the Goblin, or from Moon's Reach to the Goblin Plains, would be about how big it is. So general size is about like this. And that kind of these planes end right here. But yeah, so the northern continent is home to one of the two last white dragons in the world. There's one in the southern continent, the southernmost continent, and there's one in the northernmost continent. And it's called the Behir's Bane because there was a massive war between the dragons and the Behirs. Imagine giant kaiju fights, essentially, resulting in the extinction of the Behirs. I will hydrate, but I don't have any water right now, so I will hydrate in just a minute. Actually, you know what? I have lemon juice. Fuck it. I'm gonna just drink that. Yes, giant kaiju fights. Giant friggin' kaiju fights. between monstrous entities the size of like half the continent. But yeah, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab some water. So if you guys want to just enjoy the background music, what does the top of the Badlands look like? All right, so the Orc Badlands kind of cuts off. Let me scroll back up. It cuts off right here, and it kind of circles over to this continent here. There's a sea between the Badlands, the main continent, and then the northern ice continent. But I'll be right back. I'm gonna go grab some water. I'll be right back, folks. Oh, is the background music too quiet for you guys to hear? Here, me. Is that better? Can you guys hear it better now? I have returned, by the way, with water, with lemon water. So I have hydrated. I did do the big sippy. Thank you for the welcome back, and no, water is not lemonade. It's just it's not lemonade. It's just lemon juice in water. There's no sugar. It's just water and lemon juice, period. Because it helps cut your weight. Lemon juice is a good way to lose weight. Now, I'd recalled that there's a territory further south. Do you want that included also? Yes, I would love that included also. There's actually a map for that in our private Discord, Miss Huffy. There's a full map for that. Sorry, I got into an involuntary lurk. Dude, no, that's absolutely fair, Zor. You gotta follow the serotonin. Lemon water is not lemonade. It's an entirely different flavor and absolutely worth it. Exactly, Scarecrow. It is. It's absolutely worth it, especially when you are like sick of just drinking regular water. It gives it a good flavor and it makes it healthy and gives you good vitamins. As a matter of fact, vitamins and minerals. Exactly, Zorb. Follow the squirrel. Anyway, um, but yeah, so I was talking about the northern area, and that is where you get the races of the Aarakocra, the Kenku, and the home of the Hera within the prime material plane. I don't have a map of the Feywild yet. I'm probably going to commission Miss Huffy to make a map of the Feywild at some point, but right now I don't have one. I really should by this point because my players have been to it more than once, and it's a process, kind of explaining everything and geolocations and whatnot. But one day I'll have a map of it. It'll be all right. But yeah. So this is the map of UEs. Uh, the updated map will kind of probably be the stream background later in the thing. I mean, it's the Feywild. It's hard to navigate. It makes sense. That does make sense. Yeah, absolutely. One part of the Feywild is specifically like that on purpose. The other part is just a massive fucking jungle because Titanus doesn't know when to stop planting things. Titanus is the god of the harvest. The gods in my world are kind of one of my favorite things to talk about because I've created so many of them that they do so many things. Like Thorin Hellqueen, the queen of the hells and mother of dragons. Instead of um, tieflings coming from the hells in my world, they actually are considered celestials because they are the children of Cassiopeia. Those touched by the line of Cassiopeia have tiefling children, no matter what race they are. So those tieflings are celestial instead of demonic. And then you have the dragon folk who would be considered demonic because of their heritage with the Queen of the Hells. Which is the only reason I would ever use custom ancestry to make tieflings celestial, because I think that that's just a better concept in my opinion, instead of making them pariahs because they were demons. But yeah, no, it's also a kind of a counterculture thing. Not counterculture, but like it's a counter to like the standard of what everything is. I suppose is more the idea. Um, I am super, super, super excited for. Do kobolds have any connections to demonic origins being linked to the Dragonborn? Yes, they do. As a matter of fact, kobolds very often are considered demonic as well because they are dragon kin. Anything dragon kin related are considered demons because they come from the hells. That's like Oni come from the abyss, so they are considered fiends. Um, Kobolds continue to get better in this world. Yeah, kobolds are badasses in my world. I love kobolds. Um, and it's one of my favorite races to play. Fun little demon boys. Yeah, exactly. And they run like big ships full of like cannons and things because they're tinkerers. And like, imagine just being rolled up on by a ship full of tiny demon dragons with net guns and cannons. It's one of the coolest concepts I think I've ever come up with, is demon kobolds. The thing about the tieflings thing is that Oko's character isn't anymore the exact opposite of mine. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologize if I ruined that dichotomy because of the lore. Wait, so someone who is devout follower of the goddess of the hells, would they know celestial and or abyssal? They would know celestial. If you were a devout follower of the goddess of the abyss, Kiara, you would know abyssal. You would also have the ability to drink pretty much anything because she is also the goddess of wine and alcohol. Huffy's a devout follower of Kiara, apparently. It's wonderful. Kiara kind of a baddie. Yeah, no, she is. She is the she is an Oni. Um and created the race of Oni. And during the Gods War, Malakar tried to basically control the Oni himself, and Kiara said, "Fuck you," created an entire pocket dimension, and that's where the Abyss came from. So she migrated her people into the Abyss so that no one could touch them. And now they have been in this harsh environment that she created to make them strong and hardy. And they stand at like 7, 8 feet tall, giant horns, massive frames. The Oni are some of my favorite or one of my favorite races. I will be homebrewing some of these races into 5e if they're not already in 5e, or if I don't have access to them because I am broke. Um, but yeah, the Oni are a really cool race in my opinion. I love talking about them, and they're one of my favorites. Much like halflings and kobolds, and not gnomes. I hate gnomes. Fuck gnomes. Anyway, they know what they did. But yeah, the world itself is a planar. Excuse me, a planar system. So there are areas of the world that will take over your world with gnomes. Fuck you. No, you won't. I'll fucking kill it. I'll kill all of them. Rocks will fall. All will die. I will intentionally encase you in the earth with the goddess of the earth Utopia. No death saves, no saving throws, crushed to death by rocks. Since it's planar, does that mean my hot wife, the Queen of Pain, is there? No, so no, because this is a custom world. But if you want to talk to me in DMs later about it, absolutely we can talk about it, Babu. I love to talk more about my world and kind of add things in. You sent Beerus in an effort to slay my characters. Tell me, dear, how far are Bayheers to slay my... How did that go for the Bayheer? Fuck you, Miss Huffy. Rocks fall, everyone dies is nearly the first session of Pathfinder. That's absolutely true, but that was no fault of mine. That was because one of your party members threw a bomb in a cave. It's what happens when you make explosions underground. Things cave in. To be fair, I encouraged the bomb. You did. You did encourage the bomb. Throw the bomb, kill the skellies. But then it also, yeah. Then it also created a cave in. I'm really enjoying this. Little over, like a minute over it being half an hour before Mauve's stream. I'm very excited for to raid Mauve Dusk, and I really appreciate everyone for being here and helping me to kind of hype up and talk about things about my world before going over and raiding Mauve, because you guys, it means a lot to me that you guys are here, and it means a lot to me that you guys would be here to support not only me but also Mauve in their endeavors and their donathon. And yeah, so I just want to thank you all for being here. And I really appreciate you guys, talking to me with me about my world and kind of allowing me to introduce it to you in a way that is fun and interactive, and allowing me to kind of talk with you guys and let you ask questions and learn things about my world. Heck, now I want donuts. Yo, same. Listen here, I am not. It is not flat. It is a sphere that is squished. So it's like an oblong shape. It is still a sphere. It is still round. It is just oblong. Changelings, something that may be homebrew. Yeah, changelings exist. Uh, Uis is not flat. Uis has been some of Uis is unexplored. Changelings are a thing in my world. Um, bulbous flat Uis. It is not flat. It is round. But yeah, no, changelings are a thing in my world. They're just very hard to spot. They come from the abyss, like the Oni. They are children of Kiara who learned to shapeshift early. Most changelings take the form of like kitsune and things of that nature, but they are known as the changeling race. Someone play a flat user? You can, but you'll be mocked as a social pariah, much as I do flat earthers. I will mock you publicly. Changelings are hard to spot. Isn't that their job? To shape and blend in. Yeah, exactly. To shapeshift and blend in. That's the whole point. That's why they're hard. They're hard to spot like that. Party is named the Weezer Association. Oh no. Oh no, I know what you mean by that. But changelings are definitely yes, changelings can be um checkmate oblongists. But no, we can talk about changelings, Zorb, if you wanna talk in DMs about it. New character idea, person who wants to see the whole world because they think it's flat and want to be proven right or wrong. Yui sounds like Weezer, so that's where that one came from. Weezer sounds like Weezer. Oh my goodness. I love this. I love my community. You guys are so fucking cool. I really appreciate you guys for letting me talk about this like nerdy ass shit, cuz like I've been so excited to bring this world to the public. You can ask Miss Huffy. I've been working on it for years now. Also, fam, this map is going to be huge. I know it is. I know how it's going to be fucking massive, because this one here is already big, and the other one, and adding more to it is gigantic. And I know how big the other continent is, the Dragonlands. So it's going to be fucking gigantic. I'm so excited for it though. You've made it taller? I have. I've made it taller. I've made it much, much taller. This is about to be a tapestry. I love that. I love that it is. That's going to be fucking awesome. It's going to be really cool to see. If you could, do me a favor, and when you're done with it, post it in the art tab in the guild hall. I would very much like everyone to see when it's done, because I'm excited about it. I'm super excited about all of this. Oh god. I should do more of these where I just chill and talk about D&D and talk about my world, because it's just so fun. I'm really really enjoying myself right now. And I appreciate you guys for being here and being with me and being kind of patient with me about while I nerd out about this stuff. Now this background music did say no copyright, so I'm hoping I'm hoping that when I upload this VOD to YouTube, it doesn't get like copyright struck. But we'll see. We will absolutely see at that point. Um, but yeah, I'm really excited to bring you guys UEs and its lore and its and to let you guys experience it firsthand through one shots that I'll be running both 5e and Pathfinder, and eventually I will be running it through a secret project that I'm working on, which may or may not be my own role-playing game system. So be on the lookout for that eventually when it's finished, because it's far from being done. But I wanted to go ahead and say I am making my own RPG, and it is the main setting of it is UEs, and I'm super excited to bring you guys all of its lore and peoples and kind of run this game with you guys, uh, because it's going to be kind of my magnum opus essentially. I've been working on it for about 3 years now, and I'm really excited about it. Does anybody have any more questions? Yes, questions. I gotta get them worded right. Oh, awesome! Just apologizing for how tall the map's gonna look. Yo, don't apologize, Miss Huffy. It's gonna be fucking awesome. This map's gonna be absolutely freaking awesome. I'm super excited for it. Take your time, Scarecrow. I'd love to hear what your questions are, and I'd love to answer them if I can. Also, let's get hyped because it's little under half an hour, and we'll be going over to Mauve Dusk's channel where they're playing The Quarry. Monstrous races, them be a thing, them worshiping Mother of Monsters, them stuck in Underdark, or them freeze. Yes, there are monstrous races. So like the Drider, the Saurian are like a almost dinosaur slash lizard folk. There are like full orcs, gnolls. Um, there are a bunch of them, a bunch of like monstrous races that worship the Mother of Monsters. I've gone and changed the map size like 4 times because I keep having to adjust for this massive southern half. Yeah, no, it's a big fucking continent down there. I'm so sorry. Also, Miss Huffy, if you could think of a new name for Penn Island, because I'd like to change that. Much as the meme was funny the first time, if this is for public consumption, I would like to change the name of that island. Um, Actually, you know what? We can have chat name it. Chat, what would you guys like to rename this island down here? Because I'm gonna rename it, and because I want it to be renamed. What do we want to rename this island right here? That, keep in mind, is the back of a dragon turtle. Scale soil. All right, that's Skelisol. Skelisol. That's okay. There's a contender. Cowabunga Town. Cowabunga dudes, let's get it on. Reptiles against the fathers of the Renaissance. Fucking, I love that. Love that rap battle. But yeah, no, this is meme ass Cowabunga Town. Anatolia. There, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. I like that. That way, play on the Bikini Atoll uses last half of Tortolia. Yeah! Let's do that one. Let's go with that one. I like that. I like that name. Let's do that. You gotta tell me what the Latin means, Crow, because I don't know. I don't speak Latin, unfortunately. I failed that class in high school. Literally for French for Pen Island, you asshole. Island of Pens. Anatolia is a thing IRL, so it'll go with Tortolia. Yeah, I like that. Well, you see, Belle, Ox support. Oh, goodness gracious. Tortuga also works with the uh, Tortolia. Keep giving ideas for real ass names. If it weren't real, rip. I mean, we could totally call it fucking Anatolia. Fuck it, I like that. I like that, and that's what we're using. We can use real life references. Marcus Aurelius was a real person. Tortolia. Marcus Aurelius was a mayor in, like, I think Pompeii, and he died. Marcus was a cook. Oh God, I can't say that word. I shouldn't have said that word. Anatolia is the biggest region of Turkey, though. Always feel like it's Spanish. It does. Definitely Tortolia in a costume island. Shelos. Sheloi. I can't pronounce that. If you could give me a pronunciation for how that's supposed to be said, that's a contender because it's a really nice looking word. Loston. Oh Lord. I'm still one for using Anatolia. I still think that's the winner. I do believe. Barbatuga Atoll. Shell Oilasa. Yes. Shell Oilas. Okay. Nentolia. Ooh. Ooh. Italy. I like Nantolia. That's one. That's a good one. That's a really good one. Let's go with Nantolia. I like that a lot. Fuck it. We're naming the island Axolotl. Because all turtles are coming from there. Literally Anatolia, but I butchered the name a little. Nantolia. I like that a lot. Italy. Nantolia sounds really good. Yeah, let's go with Nantolia. So Nantolia is the winner. Oh, my dogs have started making a commotion. My dog just started to boofing. He's a good dog. He's a good boy. He's very excited about something. I can't tell. I love those emotes. Goodness gracious, those are cute. I can't wait to have my own emotes. One day I'll have my own emotes. It'll be great. I'll put them on Better TTV, and it'll be fantastic. And then when I can actually like monetize and things, because I am an affiliate, or I can apply to be affiliate. I have unlocked that ability. My problem is I can't because of like insurance reasons. I wouldn't be able to afford insurance just doing that. So, um, for now, I have to use Better TTV for my emotes, but I will eventually have them. Yo, this music is definitely copyright free because it sounds very close to sad Naruto music, but with the same orchestra that like did The Legend of Zelda. If that makes sense. Oh, good. I'm glad that it is copyright free. Oh, I cracked my fucking knuckle. It feels so much better. I'm glad you're liking it. I'm glad you enjoy the music I've chosen my music choice. I grabbed it because I didn't want to just be talking into the void without something behind it. I think it's time to get some food. Yeah, food would be wonderful. That'd be fucking fantastic. I think I might make ramen after the stream. After this stream, and while I'm watching mobs because ramen's easy to make. I got shrimp ramen. It's very good. In just about a little over 10 minutes, is Mauve should be going live in about little under 10 minutes or a little over 10 minutes. I'm super excited. Let's get hype. Let's be ready to raid and and everybody kind of be ready to shower Mauve in as much love as you can because they've been very nervous about this stream. They so let's make sure that they have a good stream and have a good time doing it. Oh, fun fact about cheap ramen: MSG was designated for cheap ramen and has absolutely no negative health effects. Exactly. Yes, it is. It doesn't. It doesn't have negative health effects. You are correct. Let's all go beat Mav with affection. Yeah. So, let's all go. Oh goodness gracious. Yeah. So if anybody, I was just like using MSG when other ingredients normally would do the job. I mean, I don't know what MSG like really does, honestly. But also, if anybody would like to jump in the Discord for like the one shot, you are more than welcome. I love MSG. Oh goodness gracious, y'all are the fucking best. I hope you guys know that. I hope you guys know that I genuinely cherish you all as a community, and I appreciate you for helping me. MSG is a flavor enhancer. That's okay. But yeah, I really appreciate you guys as a community, and kind of I put an emoji in the channel. Don't worry, I saw Bebu. I saw provides umami flavor. Okay, that makes sense. But yeah, so I appreciate you guys for kind of being here and for talking with me about this stuff. I come back to Belle being gushy, kind of cringe. Fuck you, sniper. Oh lord. But yeah, no, I'm super excited for kind of the one shot for streams going forward and potentially more D&D content. Because like I love fucking Dungeons and Dragons. It's one of my favorite things on the planet. And I love just kind of I I'll talk to MSG a couple of times to get a feeling for it. It's kind of shitty, but it makes more more so makes mouth feeling. Ah, I see. But, all right, y'all. So here it comes. As soon as I know for a fact Mauve is live and that the stream is up. Oh, okay, salty. Yeah, my brain auto-corrected that. All right, the depths have opened. We are going to raid Mauve Dusk. Here we go, guys. Let Mauve know this is a paladin raid, and let them know that we cherish and want to see her or them succeed. And you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you for coming. Tell Mauve I said hi because I won't be right in the raid. I have to go get food, so just let her know I said hi, and I'll be back soon.